Well, hey everyone, welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie. I hope you're having yourself a fantastic day. Today I want to have a conversation about Phyrexia, All Will Be One, and Atraxa, the Grand Unifier, and I really want to have a dialogue about what to do and how to handle when a card spikes like this, particularly in a new set, how as a consumer you can handle it and what you should do. Again, this is not financial advice. This is just my personal take on what to do in a set like this. Now, at my store recently, we had a couple people come in and they bought boxes of Phyrexia All Will Be One. I've got boxes for $125, and they did not buy boxes on release. And I asked the question, why this week are you deciding to buy boxes? And I got this answered twice. Well, Phyrexia All Will Be One now has a multi-format staple in it, and so now I have a reason to want to open packs. And I thought that was wild because I actually thought that cards like this were more geared towards Commander and that people were more excited for those, and we'll see that that is true. But because of a multi-format staple, this set is garnishing and gaining a lot of interest in people just ripping open packs, primarily to pull Atraxa, the Grand Unifier, or Grand Unifier, which is a phenomenal card. It's a 7 cost. You've got all but red, 7/7 with Flying Vigilance, Death Touch, and Lifelink. And a cost like this has some inherent negatives. It also has some very positive things. We'll see coming up, this allows it, because it's got green in it, it allows it to be played in this vintage deck that gets picked up, and the card can actually get picked up by Green Sun Zenith. So there's a lot of reasons that this card is really good. It also replaces itself when it enters the battlefield. You reveal 10 cards from your library, and for each card type, you can put a card of that type from the reveal cards into your hand. So it replenishes your hand, and as a commander, that's super good. It's also got callbacks to like Gristlebrand in a couple formats. So it is a phenomenal card, and it went really really far under the radar for the first couple of days. I mean, this was a $10 card. I actually pulled the Step and Complete foil version of this in one of my box openings. I think I ended up selling it at release for $70, and now it's about $120. But it dropped in value significantly, and for a couple of days there, it was a $9 card and has now spiked to $35 just because it's starting to see play in these deck lists. So let's take a look at where it's being played and what it's being played in. If you're not familiar with this, I'm not familiar with all of it, but obviously I am familiar with some of it. The Atraxa, obviously in Commander, you can throw this in with your regular Atraxa, Praetor's Voice, but also it's just being used as a regular commander. I think a lot of people were planning on doing this already, but that's not enough to really drive the price of a card insane. That's certainly not enough to make the non-foil regular version a $35 card. In Commander, it's as your commander, a lot of people like the shiny, flashy variants, and a lot of people also, it's just as a it doesn't drive the price as much as if it's being played in these other decks. So Commander certainly drives this, and it's a good card in the 99 of a couple of decks, especially Joda the Unifier. That's actually something I didn't even think about putting this in there. I have a really fun Joda deck. I'll probably get a Atraxa just to put it in there, but it actually drives the price based on other formats too. Like this is being played in 2 different standard decks. Now we don't run standard in my store. We're going to be doing draft on Friday nights, kind of be the big focus. We don't do standard, but online, obviously people play standard. That's exciting. But paper formats in every format are really seeing this. You've got Modern picking this up, and Indomitable Creativity. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not super versed in Modern, but I believe this is where Gristlebrand was. And this is kind of giving this deck a little bit more life. You can correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. But what really got me is this card is seeing play in Legacy in this blue Zenith deck. And it's able to do that. It's able to be pulled off as a result of the blue Zenith deck running green Zenith. Search your card for a green creature card with mana value X, and then put that on the battlefield. So you can tutor for Atraxa, put it on the field, and then get all those cards back to your hand off the end of the battlefield trigger. So this card is just seeing play everywhere. It's even seeing play in Pioneer now, and Pioneer also a format that Magic is starting to push a little bit in with the Pro Tour stuff. So it's getting play everywhere, it's seeing play everywhere, and that means that it's just incredibly powerful. So then what do you do with it? how do you handle a card that spiked this high? And as a consumer, what do you do now? And my first initial suggestion for you is that I don't firmly believe that this $35 is going to hold. Because whenever you see a card spike like this, often exactly how I started this video off at the beginning, you start seeing people opening up more packs in order to get cards like this to pay for the packs or to whatever. And so the supply increases. As the demand increases for a single, the supply increases for the single, because you can get the single in the booster boxes, and there are always more, especially right now, there are always more booster boxes. And this is why you're seeing boxes kind of on this little tear. They came up, they dipped down a little bit as stores got a restock this week. Now they're shooting back up. I mean, set boxes at 135 is a good number. That's a really strong number for Magic the Gathering boxes a couple weeks or week and a half after release. That's a really, really strong number. So this tells me people are opening boxes primarily to get cards of value like Atraxa. And there are a few other cards that are kind of spiking right now, but this is more for this. So my first piece of advice for you is to not buy the single. I would not buy this at 35 bucks. If you need a commander one and you want to build the commander, you want to have fun, go ahead, pick it up. Or, maybe you say, I'm going to buy it in the next couple of weeks. And so you make the deck and you kind of play test it with a little bit, and you have a proxy until you're ready to, finally, lean into whatever you have. But for now, I would not pick this up. I think, again, the supply is going to increase for the singles. And that brings into, booster boxes at $135. Supply is really low. Distribution's really low. This is going to be a $130 to $155, $160 set box, I think, over the next couple weeks. We saw, I guess 65 is too high. We did see Kamigawa hit up to that 55 to 60. And a great example, actually I didn't even think about this until now, a great example of a card like this is the Boseiju. Who endures. This is a great example of what happens when you see a card like this, and these are holding at 30 bucks even as a rare. So maybe I'm wrong about Atraxa not shooting up past that $35 price point, but you can see on release of these, you just see these spikes of where people start utilizing and playing them in the deck list and that kind of thing. So we saw this not dip down. Obviously it was a land, so everybody kind of knew it was going to see use, and it's pretty easy to identify the use of it. But you can see, even though everybody knew, it still dipped down and it kind of gradually came back up. So this is a pretty good example, I think, of what will happen as people see the use. They'll all of a sudden open up packs. The value will kind of dip down on it, and then it will slowly just start accumulating in price and going up. So that's what I would think would probably happen for something like Atraxa, as long as it doesn't get banned in any of the formats that it's used in. And I don't see anything that would ban this in any of those formats. It's a strong card. It's not a broken card, though. So yeah, anyway, for boxes then, I would say if you can pick up boxes, which you can do at my website at 125, if you can pick up boxes, in that 130, maybe 120 to 135 and open up cards, I think it's worth it to shoot for that. Obviously I'm biased there. I would not be paying more than the 140s though. 140 seems to be like, maybe even like 135. It's gonna be hard to get your money back out of that. But if you like opening packs, this set slot, or the list slot in this set, is pretty good too. So yeah, anyway, that long story short, as you consider what you're doing with this, just remember not to FOMO in. This set will be readily available for the next few months. Draft boxes, set boxes. We don't know if collector boxes are getting a reprint. Honestly, the collector boxes are not holding up as well as the set boxes are in this set. And so I think there's no super rush to ape into a card like this. You're gonna see this decrease in price a little bit. So if you're looking for a play set, I would kind of target that like $25 price range, maybe $20 to $25 price range to start picking these up as a play set. If you are playing those more legacy formats. If you're just playing Commander though, I think you got some time to wait. I think it'll be pretty easy to pick up one of these in that $20 to $25 price range in a couple weeks, especially if you're just looking to pick up one. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you're playing this card with. If you're building this commander, I would love to see kind of what your tech is and what your like what ratio of different card types are you putting in the deck to get those draw effects. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that kind of stuff. And I don't know if I'll build this one. This one seems fun to build. You could do like a really cool control build on this, I think, like ramping control build. I think that would be super fun. I may do that, but we'll see. Anyway, hopefully you have yourself a fantastic day. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and be kind to the people around you.